Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my teachers. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I'm super excited to be here to speak to you guys. When Lekon reached out to me about this event, I was super excited because the first question I asked was, would you pick a topic for me or should I just do myself? Lekon said, just do you. And immediately I knew what I wanted to speak about. So my friends would come to meet me and whine me and say things like, alright, how do you manage to combine all that you do? Initially, I thought they were whining me. But then I started getting messages from people that, okay, I see you do this stuff, I see you do this, and you're still a medical student. What's the formula? So this brings me to my topic for today. I titled it Consistency Formula. So you can remove the formula, just to package the topic. The main thing is consistency. Consistency. So we're going to do some introspection as I speak. So if you have your jotter and your pen, please bring it out. So when you think of consistency, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Don't check Google or don't check ChatGPT. Just write down that first word that comes to your mind. So for me, it's not just one word actually. It is 3 words, which are discipline, time management, and drive. Discipline, time management, and drive. Discipline, I feel, is a very common subset of consistency. How many of us wrote down discipline? Nobody? Interesting. So as medical students, discipline is something that comes with the training. I always joke with my dad, he's in the army, that the training in the military is almost the same thing with what we get in medical school. Except that, we don't carry guns, we don't do drills and all that. But you have to be disciplined. I know that in our class, we have someone who, even though they set the lecture for 6:30 a.m., they will be there by 6:25. And we have people who, even if the lecturer says, don't write notes, they will still write something. In clinical classes, there are people who, if they say, get 40 clickings in 1 week, they'll do it. I think I'm one of those people, but anyway. So, discipline, it is very common. These people, it's not like they enjoy coming to school early, or they enjoy being in class every single day, but they are doing it because they simply have to. And that is what discipline is all about. Now, time management. This is the one we all struggle with. We always cry that 24 hours is not enough, blah, blah, blah. And this is simply the bedrock of consistency. Without being a great time manager, you simply cannot do all that you want to do. You can't reach your maximum capacity. And this is why I always recommend that we have, a plan. At the beginning of the year, I always do this thing with my friends. We have this online vision board party where we discuss, all of our goals for the year and things we want to do. I was hoping that, okay, next slide. I want to show us a sample. So now those yearly goals, we classify them we break them down into monthly, weekly, and daily goals. Now, I know that in a year, if I want to publish, say, 5 papers, that means I have to publish one every 2 to 3 months in order to achieve my goal. Now, how do I do that? I can't just wake up one morning and write the paper and publish it. I need to break it down into smaller steps. So that means maybe every week I'm dedicating 6 hours to writing, which shows that I'm putting little drops, inside a goal. So at the end of 3 months, I'll be published up. So I have a template here for us. Next slide. It's not showing everything, but this daily planner is what I use every morning. After saying my prayers, I bring out my jotter. I have one red jotter, very cute. I write, things I want to achieve that day. What are my priorities? 2 materials, check. Spend, 2 hours on a course that is not related to, my primary course of study. I'll check it there. That's the top priorities. Then, my schedule, I'm waking up by 6. I know that I have a class by 8 till 2 p.m. So that place is covered. Then by 2 to 4, I'll eat, relax, By 4 to 6, probably take a nap. 6 to 8, I go to the gym. Then, 8 to 10, 11, I'm eating and also reading something. Then I sleep off, say 11 to 1. Wake up the next day by 1 a.m. Do 2 hours, maybe working on a research paper or something. Or any course or whatever, just catch up. And then you sleep. Now, the problem is that some of us, we are easily distracted. We spend hours scrolling mindlessly on TikTok. I didn't know that people could spend 2 hours on TikTok. Yes. People watch movies on TikTok and they're not scrolling, watching everything. So people have 5 talking stages. From one call, one hour call, you're moving to another 1 hour call. You're texting like 5 people. Then, in the middle of the night, you now wake up that, I should have read this material. You start regretting. Being proper time management is always a retrospective diagnosis. You would have been on the bed. That's when you start regretting that what if I had achieved this today? What if I was able to do this? So I want us to reflect as we are seated on how we can better manage our time. I recommend this daily planner. You can always see me after to get a copy of it. Moving on. So I have a very personal story that I want to tell. So I have not always been like this. I mean, when I say like this, I've not always been someone who had everything figured out. I had my plans, paper, everything. Something happened when I was in 200 level. If I 200 level, raise up your hand. So you'll be able to relate. So in 200 level, I failed to be the IBS exam. Okay, sorry, you're not going to relate in Jesus' name. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, so in 200 level, I failed to be the IBS exam. Hopefully you guys don't fail, I pray. Then, comprehensive came after. I tried my best to buffer, but I still failed. And so I had to repeat 200 level. And of course, there were so many think pieces from people. She's always doing this, always doing that. And I knew that I was not a failure. That was my first time failing. So I went back to the drawing board. I sat with myself for days. I thought about what I wanted out of life, right? And then I also re-strategized. Like I wrote out things I had written out before, but like with the proper plan in place. And in that moment, I realized that I would never fail again. Not by my power, God is helping me. But I knew deep down that I would never fail again. And it was not just, I realized that hard work was not cutting it. I needed to combine being disciplined with managing my time well. And also I needed a drive. Drive is not to drive a car, but like that's internal engine. What is your why? I needed a why. At that point I was young, I didn't have a why. I was just doing everything I wanted to do, just exploring. But I needed a why. And I realized that a lot of people do not have that why. Maybe because from secondary school, you just came to medical school, you have not like seen life, come from a place of privilege, And so that was what was my problem really. So I sat down and thought about the why. I knew that I needed to get more out of life for myself. I don't want to struggle. I want to buy the latest gadgets. I want to, travel the world. That was my why. It's very, very flimsy. But I just knew that there was nobody else going to come and save me. There was no rich man, no rich Arabian prince that would come and save me. I needed to have my money and just enjoy myself. That is my why, aside from many other things. Some people, their why is they want to take their parents out of the wood, in quotes. Some is they want to, take care of their siblings. Very deep stuff. When you ask people what their story is, people that are very, very successful, you hear so many things. That why is what changes or what forces your hard work into a habit. It's not becoming a chore, but it's now an habit for you. So without that why, you can make plans on a daily planner for a month. You will not follow through because there's nothing driving you internally. So you need to write, I want you to sit down with yourself. This is the end of the year. Next year will be better, right? So sit down with yourself when you get home. If you are planning to take GSMLE or PLAB, working on your pathway? Are you speaking with people? Are you attending ILUMSA events with alumni, speaking to people? Are you already looking at what's that book called? I can't remember. So are you looking at those books? Are you planning ahead? So I want you to create that plan and also look for your why. Write it down. Let's stay at your why every day. To fuel my why, I go online, Pinterest. I check pictures of nice places, of nice things. I just tell myself that one day I'll come for you. You understand? So just reflect, spend time with yourself. Don't jump around that, hey, it's almost New Year, Christmas. It's time to start thinking ahead, because being a medical student is not enough again. You are competing with Pakistanis, Indians, those guys are doing crazy stuff. So you need to also not be a local champion. Medicine will not save you. It's the other skills that you have that will take you to places. So just to round it up. So since that failure episode that I had, I've gone on to do so many amazing things. This is not to brag. I want you guys to see what is possible with you just locking in. The process is long, but you have to trust it. Just lock in. Itemize what you need out of life. I have done research, leadership. I have over 5 published papers. I have served as ILUMSA PRO in 200 level, Senator, NIMSA Southwest Director of Media, also Student Union Vice President. I have a 9 to 5. I work remotely. Language, sports, everything. I'm not trying to brag to you, but you can do so much more than just be a medical student. If you want to write the USLE and you're in your final year or your 5th year and you don't know anything about research, there's a problem. Like even the methodology process. So sit down with yourself and be inspired to do more, be inspired to trust the process, and I'm very sure that you get out good results. Thank you very much for having me.